Express.
Hello, this is Leading the Way at Leonard's Express podcast, and I'm your host, Dwayne Knepper. This podcast segment, we are talking about Leonard's Express being named one of North America's top 20 fleets to drive for by the Truckload Carriers Association and Carriers Edge. Leonard's Express CEO Ken Johnson and Vice President of Asset Operations Joe Cologgi join us today to talk about this exciting award. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thanks, Dwayne.
Now, Leonard's Express has just celebrated 21 years of service. Our discussion today is going to add more excitement as we're acknowledged 2022 best fleets to drive for. Ken, please share with our listeners what's best fleets to drive for is.
Well, it's an award that the truckload carriers give out with help from Carriers Edge. And it's a measurement of the things we do, for our drivers to help us be one of the best fleets to drive for. They measure compensation, of course, but a lot of quality of life issues. How we handle our benefits, how we handle our payroll, how we handle a multitude of issues, and it's a fairly in-depth and very time-consuming process to go through it. But it's very rewarding to share what we're doing, and in some cases we learn things to make us better, but other cases, we're doing things pretty good, and it shows, and and we're rewarded for it. So it's a process, but process we're more than happy to go through because it helps us, be better for our drivers.
Speaking of process, Joe, how did Leonard's Express get here? What is the process for this recognition?
Well, it's a very, very tedious and detailed process. It takes a lot of effort from many individuals in our company to even qualify and submit the application for it. The program requires a company of 10 or more trucks to receive a nomination from one of the company drivers or one of its owner operators, and it's totally unanimous. The fleets are evaluated using a scoring metrics covering a variety of categories, and that includes total compensation, health benefits, performance management, professional development, career path advancement, opportunities, and a ton of other criteria. And then the drivers are surveyed to conduct and collect input from our company drivers and our independent contractors that work for us to, compile all the data and evaluate our company. And all the surveys are anonymous. You have to get a certain number, which I believe it's around 150, which is a lot harder than it sounds. It really gives our drivers a platform to, express their true feelings about what we're doing as a company.
Ken, winning Best Fleets to Drive for award is more than just recognition. It's validation that Leonard's Express is doing the right thing.
That's right, Dwayne. And it's something that we're all certainly proud of because it's not an easy award. There's only 20 fleets selected out of over 200 applications, and it's we have that mindset to begin with, but this lets us validate what we're doing, that we're doing the right thing, and it also shows us where we still have work to do. And and that's just as important as winning, as learning the things that we can continue to do better. And through the several years that we attempted to win this and didn't, we've learned, but we're still going to learn, even though we were successful in winning the award this year.
Yeah. Joe, Leonard's Express is very visible on our nation's highways. Having that 2022 Best Fleets to Drive for as a moniker alongside our tractors and trailers is a very strong message toward continuing to attract professional drivers and talented personnel.
Yeah, I mean, the award itself is very recognizable throughout the whole industry, and a lot of people realize that it takes a lot of work and effort for fleets to receive that award. So having that sticker on our tractors and on our trailers really, gives us a little bit of an edge, and it catches people's eyes. So when another driver is driving down behind one of our trucks, they say, oh, well, I might be looking to go to another company. And if they see that on a trailer, that gives them, hey, they must know what they're doing. Maybe I'll give them a call. And it really is about, having the right people, trying to build off the culture we're trying to create here at Leonard's, and really, holding true to our values, through and through, from, the corporate level where Ken and I are, to the driving level, and, everyone in between there. So, it's a very cool thing to have, and we're very proud of it, to have that decal on our equipment.
Absolutely.
For sure. You mentioned culture and finding the right person. Ken, can you talk about the importance of DE&I, diversity, equity, and inclusion, in Leonard's Express employee recruitment efforts?
Well, sure, Dwayne. That's important to us, just because we want to treat people the way we want to be treated, and we want to treat everybody, and we want people to feel comfortable and safe when they come to work. And United States is a very diverse population, and we want to appeal to all walks of life, and know that they're welcome here, that they can come here and do their job and go home to their families, and and be satisfied that Leonard's has treated them the way they want to be treated.
And I'd like to add on that, Dwayne, if I could. One of my favorite things about my job and my profession is getting to travel around the country, and really our footprint covers a lot of the major regions in America, and it's very interesting to see the different culture that is in diversity that's in every area, and it's really a cool thing as far as bringing people together and learning about all sorts of people and how they've been brought up. And we want to keep our minds open at all times and make sure we're doing everything we can to help accommodate not just drivers, but employees and partners and vendors.
Yeah.
And I'll add to that, as I get to meet with a lot of people, both from the driving side of our company, but also in all of our individual offices. And and I like to say that Leonard's has a culture, and it's driven by our values, our morality, in our personalities. But each office has a subculture, and a lot of times it's it's the people, obviously, but it's also the area that office happens to be in. Whether it's the upper Midwest or our more rural operations, like in Wilmington, Delaware, for instance. We want the Leonard's culture, but we also want some of the individual personalities to stand out as well. And I think that's as we've grown, I think that's how we've accommodated that growth and still kept that same family feeling throughout the company.
Right. I like to think that as our Leonard's Express family grows, we all just got better the minute a new member walks through that door. We're joined today by, yeah, absolutely. We're joined today with Ken Johnson, our Chief Executive Officer of Leonard's Express, and Joe Cologgi, Vice President of Asset Operations. Thanks again for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
If anyone has any questions or feedback, I'd like to hear from you at leadingtheway@leonardsexpress.com. That's leading the way, all one word, @leonardsexpress.com. You can also contact your driver advocate or your driver advisory board member. That's all for this podcast on the 2022 Best Fleets to Drive For. And I'm your host, Dwayne Knepper, and this is Leading the Way at Leonard's Express.
We're running 18 wheels down that open highway. We drive on through the night so you can have it your way with the angels up highway.